What drew me to Ark and what kept me playing was the world of creatures it had. I love animals and the many creatures that inhabit the Ark, which you can tame. This is what makes Ark so special to me, from prehistoric dinosaurs to more modern animals and completely made up creatures. While a pain sometimes, taming is what makes Ark Ark. However, not every creature which coexists in the Ark can be tamed, which I think is a shame. So today, I want to talk about my top 5 Ark creatures I wish were tameable. Number 5, water jug bugs. I don't know why, but I've always loved the water jug bugs. Maybe it's because of the many times they've come in handy, especially on my first time on Scorched Earth. I also think they're just really cool and cute looking at the same time. My concept for a tamed water jug bug would be to make them into essentially beverage caps or water hats to help new players and maybe even late and mid-game players explore the deserts easier. They would work like a shoulder pet but on your head, which you can drink water from whenever and wherever you need it to. This could come in real handy, because what if you run out of water and there's no H2O in sight? Well, never fear, because your new bug buddy is here, ready to give you a refreshing drink of cool water. To tame them, just walk up to them and give them a drink of water from a water jar or a water skin or canteen if you have that. I always thought this would be a very cool idea for the water jug bug to have, and one I actually really hope comes into Ark someday. Number 4, Cnidaria. Maybe an oddball choice, but I really think Cnidaria could find their place in the game besides just being another annoying creature to deal with. I wouldn't only make them tameable, but give them a whole rework in how they function. To tame one, you would have to let them shock one of your tames before you can earn their trust to start taming. Similarly to a Ceratosaurus, who has to damage your creature before it can be tamed. Great, you have one jellyfish, but now you're going to need more. If there's one thing I constantly hear about the Cnidaria, it's people saying how annoying it is for such a small creature to be able to shock a creature like a Mosa or a Tuso, and I completely agree. But what if it took more than one Cnidaria to shock bigger creatures? You need to tame multiple Cnidaria because now bigger creatures require more jellyfish. Say an Ichthy only needs one Cnidaria, but a Mosa might need 10 before being shocked and stunned in place. I think this would balance the Cnidaria from being annoying, overpowered, and useless. I want my rework to keep the Cnidaria as still a powerful underwater creature, but to let them add a level of difficulty when encountering them that is fun and feels fair to deal with. For how useful they would be, I think allowing your Cnidaria to just shock and not damage would be a useful setting. Since making underwater traps are hard sometimes, you can use the Cnidaria to stun creatures in place and then build a trap around them. I think being the only jellyfish in the game, the Cnidaria needs some more love. Number 3, ants. Ants would be awesome because I think they would make for a very useful and unique companion. My plan for ants is it would work as a resource transport, to bring resources from your base to somewhere else or somewhere else to your base. What would make them really unique is their ability to collect from supply crates. This would be extremely useful in single player since you have to do everything yourself and loot crates are better at night, so sometimes you can be busy and miss out on the night. With ants, they would allow you to finish your work and not worry about missing out on some useful loot. To have ants not be too overpowered, I would have ants only be able to carry one stack of any resource max at a time and only one resource type. For example, you couldn't carry 50 wood and 50 stone, but you could carry 100 wood or less. For supply drops, they would be able to gather everything from one supply drop, then return back. To make it so they don't get eaten all the time when they're doing this, only other land-based arthropods and megatheriums will attack them. To tame ants, you would have to give them random resources like a moss chops. Ants are such cool creatures and my favorite bugs, so them being tameable would be awesome. But right now, all I can do is anticipate. After seeing Doom Part 2, there are only 2 things I could think of. When is Part 3 coming out, and how fun it would be to ride around through the desolate, scorchy deserts of the Arks on the back of a Deathworm. Once tamed, they would be great and powerful beasts, and would be fast and quick travelers, especially in desert biomes. They would also be useful allies to help fight and take down the 4 titans on extinction and any other world bosses. For a taming method, I couldn't really think of one that fit them well, so let me know if you guys have any ideas on how you would have Deathworms be tamed. They're just such cool creatures that I'm honestly surprised they aren't already tameable. Number 1, Leedsichthys. The lead is such an awesome creature, with it being the biggest fish ever and having such a unique appearance, and yet I don't see it in much media at all, maybe here and there. So when I discovered that the lead was in Ark Survival Evolved, I was so excited to see him again, only for him to be one of the only creatures in the game you can't tame. This just really annoys me. Like, why? Why can't we tame it? Anyway, if the lead ever becomes tameable, I would have it give players an increased damage to wooden rafts, and because it was the biggest fish ever, I would have it give a resistance and damage buff to all fishy allies, like megalodons. To tame them, you would have to let them destroy some of your wooden rafts. The Leed is such a cool and unique creature, and my most wanted tamed creature in Ark. But with that being said, that leads us into the outro. That's my list of my top 5 creatures I wish were tameable in Ark. Tell me yours in the comments below. Anyway, I'm Rexy Blue. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Be kind. And bye-bye.